Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope you're doing good, especially during this pandemic COVID-19. What about your quarantine? Whatever it is, I hope everything will be alright and we keep praying that we all safe. Okay, let's straight to the point because I don't want to talk about COVID-19, but I want to talk about language testing. But before that, let me have a short introduction first, because I know you all don't know me yet. My name is Bethesda. I'm a third year of English course at Universitas Advent Indonesia. One of our curriculums in English course is testing for language teacher. As a teacher or a teacher to be, we have to have a capability to make tests for our students. So basically, this video is made in order to fulfill the requirements from a lecture, and we ask to explain our language testing that we've made in a short video. Well, we are required to make 7 kinds of language testing. There are testing writing, testing listening, testing reading, testing oral ability, testing overall ability, testing grammar and vocabulary, and tests for young learners. From these 7 kinds of language testing, we are required to have 4 parts for language testing, and the minimum of questions is 5 numbers. It means that we should have 20 questions per language testing. And also in every language testing, we should have an objective. An objective is what is your purpose to have that test, whether you want to measure their skills or knowledge and so on. So the first thing that we are required to do was choosing a grade level. So I finally decided to choose grade 8 for junior high school. Honestly, it was not easy to make a test, and it's definitely hard, I think, because we have to get the material first and then choose the topics that includes in test, and also the difficulty of measuring the difficulty of the questions, whether it's difficult, moderate, or easy. But one thing that is easy to make is testing overall ability, since you have just to combine the 6 kinds of language testing into it. As a warm-up, before I continue to my strength and weaknesses of language testing that I've made, I want to share to you what is test and what the purpose of having this. I think everyone is already know what is a test, because when you are in school, you already have joined a test given by your teachers. And also, even now, maybe some of you there are who joining the test. Test is an assessment to measure test takers' knowledge or skills. Test is practice of making objective judgments regarding to the extent to which the system exceeds, fail, or meet the state objectives. As I told you before, to make a test is we have to have an objective first. What is the purpose of the test? What is the purpose of the test? They are used to determine whether students have learned what they were expected to learn or not. And also they may be used to measure learning progress and achievement to evaluate the effectiveness of educational programs. Testing itself have effect on teaching and learning process that known as backwards. The test preparation with all dominate teaching and learning activities, and if tests are at variance with the objective, of course, there is likely to be harmful backwards. Sometimes tests are inaccurate. Why? Where is it comes? It is the source of this inaccurate. It is the content and techniques and reliability. Then the test should be reliable and valid and meet the requirements. Valid means a test is measured accurately. What is it intended to measure? The test content is a representative sample of the language skills being tested, consistency of scores. So, what teacher should be done to make an accurate test? The teacher can put pressure. The teacher can put pressure on professional testers and examining boards to improve their tests. And what kind of tests that are best? The test that best is valid and reliable and lead to a balance that the level of difficulty of the problem. So that's all short explanation about test and testing. Now we move to the strength and the weaknesses of the language testing that I've made. Number one is the strength. The strength of my test I've made is it's appropriate test based on papers, margin, font size, line and paragraph spacing. I made it appropriate since I know this is the most important one. That is why I made it appropriate. Imagine that you join the test and you find that the margin, the paper, the font size, the line and paragraph spacing is not really good. Are you comfortable with it? When you find the font size is very small or very big, I make sure that you won't comfortable with it. So this is important to make a good test. So number two is weaknesses. Weaknesses in my language testing that I've made is number one, from the type of test. I find my test items is accidentally easily guessed by the choice of answer because some instructions are accidentally tucked in the problem. Therefore, the test of items tucked in the answer clues will make it easier for students to make choices without having to think. And number two is in terms of the level of difficulty. There's no balance of the level of difficulty of the questions that I made. And the intended balance is the existence of questions that are easy, moderate, and difficult proportionally. The level of difficulty of the question it should be seen from the ability of the students who answer it. it's seen from the teachers, not seen. It is not seen from the teacher's points of view as a Christian maker. But I made the test only from my point of view, so I'm not sure that the level of the difficulty from my test is. So that's all that I want to share with you today. Thank you and bye bye.